Alright, so this is a biggie and a long one. So, New Mutants came out over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a Rotten Tomatoes score of 24, audience score 52. So that's still not good, but yet then again...
When did you see that Rotten Tomatoes score? Was it... Because we are recording this, have a quick look. Is it the 23rd of August?
That Rotten
Sunday,
score was
August 23rd.
yesterday.
So that was August 22nd, Saturday,
Yes.
August 22nd. The day after it premiered. It premiered back on Friday the 21st of August 2020.
Yes. Now,
Usually you won't see that much of a spread between the critic score and the audience score unless there's some kind of political point being made, in which case you may see a huge disparity between the two. But 20 points is just at that range of, yeah, it probably sucks ass.
well, apparently, to my sources here...
He's got sources.
I got sources.
He's got sources.
But apparently, New Mutants only brought, so far, 3 million. Tenet, that hasn't been shown here in the U.S. yet, I don't think, but has been shown overseas and has brought home 40 million.
Who's in Tenet?
Tenet is, I think, Denzel Washington's son, Pat Robinson, and Nolan Christopher Nolan. Pretty much everybody that has been in all of his movies.
Christopher Nolan, you're done. That's all I needed to know. Go ahead.
But and behind that, Unhinged. I'm sorry.
The road rage movie
With Russell Crowe brought home 4.0 million.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But anyway, New Mutants is one of those that it was supposed to come out years ago.
Now I've said it before. Snake bit. It's one of those things that is just that franchise has been snake. That entire property was snake bit from the beginning. Yes. And you can just. It's almost like you can pull into Hollywood as soon as you see the Hollywood sign. You smell something and you look off to the side. It's one of these snake-bit properties that have been laying around in the sun, turning brown and kind of desiccating on the side of a road like an old cat turd. And then every once in a while it'll just rain and rain and rain, and suddenly it pops back and it's a full, fresh, fully formed, and because the sun baking it, a hot cat turd all over again, and it just repeats for about 25 years. What were you going to say?
It definitely should have went straight to video instead of theaters, but that's not the only problem.
At least they're releasing the movies in the theaters.
Yeah, well, that's not the only problem it has, okay? So, apparently, director James Boone, who's the director of New Mutants, is a little under fire because whitewashing. There's a character in the movie called Sunspot.
Oh no, they didn't make him white, did they?
Who is from Brazil, and apparently his words was, I have looked and at a lot of black people and came across a man named Henry, which is the actor that's playing Sunspot in the movie, and he says, I do not see color, but I just thought he would be the one to play that should play this character. He said that out of all the colored people that was in the audition, he saw him, this Henry guy, as the, yeah. You see where I'm going with this, right? He says he doesn't see color, but yet it's like a line of colored people, but yet there's that one white dude. So, yeah, he's getting backlash on that. And he's getting backlash on that and something else by Bob McLeod, who is the creator of New Mutants. And he is pissed off because whitewashing of Sunspot, and after this movie has been in the shitter for like 3 or 4 years, and they spelled his name wrong.
I know exactly who you're talking about. He would be. I can't. We don't make our last name publicly known on this video, but believe me, I understand what it's like to get your name wrong. But anyway, this New Mutants has been in development hell a lot longer than 3 or 4 years. This is like dating back to like, oh my god, no. New Mutants. New Mutants has been in development in one stage or another, early development, but they've been in one stage of development or another since the Roger Corman Fantastic 4 years, buddy. It's been in hell that long. Wow. Because it was an X-Men property.
Right.
Okay, now maybe it doesn't go quite back as far as Roger Corman's Fantastic Four, but as far back as the first Fantastic Four, they had already made the first X-Men movie and made a fortune off of it because, you know, X-Men. And so anything mutant related belonged to Fox. Okay? Fox got all the X books. Those were the hot properties at the time. Marvel, of course, has wiped their ass repeatedly with mutantdom ever since, but still. So, not as much as Fox has, but it's been in developmental hell for a couple of decades. And it didn't start production until 4 or 5 years ago. Okay? Now, in the Obama administration, it started production. In the Trump administration, it continued production. Black Lives Matter, all these other movements and stuff have been going on. Comicsgate and all, it's been in development.
Yeah.
What in the name of Phineas F. Frog was this guy thinking to whitewash Sunspot, one of the few hardcore Black/Latino heroes in the Marvel canon? Because there ain't many Brazilians in Marvel canon that I can think of off the top of my head. Sunspot is one. DC has one Brazilian superhero, and that's Fire, who was with the old Justice League International and the Global Guardians, but I digress. You ought to know better, dude. Come on. I mean, as much as I talk about race lifting,
Dude, well,
which I consider a lazy way of throwing people a bone to keep them from harassing you about not having enough people with melatonin in your movie, but to actually race lift the other way and take an opportunity away from an actor with melatonin, you're insane, dude. Put the blow down. Set the hooker to the side, sober up for a couple of days, and then reconsider your casting decisions, okay? Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, it's also the way he defended himself, which was
they
horrible.
always make it worse,
Horrible.
dude.
Like, I mean, literally, I
can't find any black people who are good enough to play this fantastic role of a supporting character in a
See, now I messed
X-Men
up.
movie.
I said black, but he actually used the word brown.
Brown, yes, because again, Black/Latino, which is what Brazilian tends to be a mix of the two. Kind of like Caribbean, kind of like a Caribbean kind of vibe,
but
yes.
Yeah, I just...
And Portuguese, because if you do not mention Portugal in that area, that region, the Portuguese will absolutely let you have it, because no, they are not Spanish.
I mean, the way he made it sound was like there was a bunch of them there, but yet the one white dude comes up and it's like,
there's my brown guy. Yeah. Golly, y'all, a la y'all. I'm gonna start a website. It's gonna be called a la y'all, where I'm just gonna call y'all out because y'all's insane. Stop it. Again, race lifting is pathetic enough to begin with, but to race lift in order to whitewash, that just, dude, come on, it's 2020. Yeah, I'm not really big on being all mealy-mouthed and mushy with all this BLM Antifa crap that's going on. leave the politics out of it. This is supposed to be geeky stuff, but oh my god, even I'm like, dude, be whiter, you oxidol sucking freak. Golly. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
I mean, I was already like, you know, I don't know if I want to go see this movie, but now after hearing all this, I'm just like, yeah, I'll probably skip this.
Yeah, no.
I'll probably skip this. If it comes on TV, I might watch it.
You understand? Do you have any idea how many Fox Marvel movies I've watched? Take a guess. Take a wild ass guess. How many Marvel Fox movies have I seen?
I'm going to guess
Let's see if we can
around
get it.
20. Or almost 20. Maybe in the teens. Really?
I saw the first X-Men about 10 years after it was released, and I actually managed to get through most of that. I saw the first Fantastic Four and swore never again, and I almost sat through X3, but I think that was the one where they killed Cyclops off about 5 minutes into the movie, and I just turned it off. So I think that was on BBC America or something. I was like, this is crap, and I just changed the channel. But anyway.
That's.
So really, yeah, I guess a rounding error would give you 2 of the Fox movies I've seen when it comes to Marvel. But
wow. I mean, not bad. I understand because not all of them are.
I have seen Spider-Man 2 more. I've seen Spider-Man 2 more times than all the Fox Marvel movies put together. That's on you, Fox. You used to be better than that.
That's not Fox.
What? No, Spider-Man's Sony.
Yeah.
But I'm saying more than all the
okay.
Fox Marvel things, the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, all put together, I've seen Spider-Man 2 more times than that. So that just shows you Sony might actually have a better idea what they're doing, or they used to, than Fox does. But then again, but like I said, Fox used to have the rep of doing the really good stuff that people wanted. Fox, here, I got you a TCM backlot subscription, which you still haven't figured out how to use yet, have you? Because it's like a fanboy site for classic movie geeks, but you haven't figured it out, have you? Anyway.
No, I have.
Fox and Warner Brothers were the 2 populous studios in Hollywood, okay? MGM was all about musicals. They loved their musicals. Disney, of course, wasn't even really considered a major studio until you hit like the 60s or something, 50s or 60s. But they were kids. And then there was Universal, which did the schlocky horror movies. And it was Paramount that did the prestige films usually. And Columbia would do prestige films. Paramount wound up doing prestige films right until CBS Viacom took them over. But
I'm trying to get into the whole like offbeat heroes, as I like to call them, like Doom's Patrol. Awesome.
Again, a Warner property. Go ahead and name off a few other quirky ones.
I'm falling deep. I have already fallen deeply in love with Umbrella Academy, which is actually kind of just like Doom Patrol, except less cussing.
I believe it's Dark Horse does that. Dark Horse is another studio another comic book publisher who got into studio production. They got started with The Mask, and it's just been off to the races ever since. But so to speak, not like Sunspot being cast, but
no, good Lord.
Anyway, but yeah, and there's another one coming from Image, and I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, it'll come to me about 30 minutes after we stop recording. Probably on me taking you home from the production studio. But anyway, what were we saying? Quirky movies you were watching.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Anyway.
That one, yeah.
But anyway,
Warner
Brothers still has that rep to this day of doing the stuff people like that critics don't.
Yes.
And that's the way it's always been. Because even when it came to their cartoons, MGM had Tom and Jerry, they had Tex Avery, they had Hanna-Barbera, and they had all these guys. They were great technicians and stuff, and boy, they could do some nice slapstick. They had Disney, on the other hand, had all the draftsmen. They had the artists and stuff. They did the big shit. Then you had Warner Brothers, who just sat there and did the screwball humor and stuff. It's always been like that with these major Hollywood studios. So yeah, it's just one of the things. Fox used to have the reputation of being a populist one at first, and then they became a prestige studio, and then they just went to pot after they cashed in on Die Hard. So it's just been, I believe Fox did Die Hard. I believe. We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out soon enough.
If Fox is smart, they would keep going with Deadpool.
Oh, well.
Because right now there's rumors that says that Disney doesn't actually want Deadpool to be part of anything. And
no,
like,
Disney doesn't
what
want
about
Deadpool.
Fox? I was like, what does Fox want?
Disney is... If Disney's smart, 20th Century Fox will handle their adult stuff.
Yes.
Disney will the Disney name will be on the family-friendly stuff.
Yes.
Okay? That's if they're smart. We're talking about Disney here, guys. Okay? We're talking about Disney. These are the guys who managed to F up Star Wars. Okay? 3 strikes, 3 outs. And they screwed up Star Wars. They screwed up the Muppets, for God's sake. How do you screw up the Muppets? Disney found a way. They screwed it up. And I have no idea where the Muppets are to this day.
Muppets Now is what it's called.
But
where they do Zoom shows.
Don't get me started on the Chinese tech again. Anyway.
Even though I got to admit, last episode of Disney Now, or not Disney Now, Muppets Now, was actually really hilarious.
They can be really good when they want to be.
Some good jokes in there.
That's the hard part, though. The Muppets have had such a family-friendly reputation for so long. You have to... Miss Piggy has to take those long gloves off, and then it gets interesting. But anyway.
I actually do love the Muppets, though. Either which way I can take them. Good or bad.